On the news at 1, FCT Minister directs immediate closure of dissolved committee secretariat. Buari Area Council pledges mutual cooperation with NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And on special assignment, correspondent examines the challenge of inadequate bus stop on FCT major traffic routes. Good afternoon and welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja. This is Patricia Esamiluba. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has directed the immediate closure of the Secretariat of the dissolved Ad Hoc Committee on Sales of Federal Government Houses in the FCT. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Minister on Public Communications and Social Media, Lere Olayenka, says the minister has also approved the creation of a division in the Department of Land Administration to handle matters relating to the sale of federal government houses in the territory. The statement explains that although the ad hoc committee had completed its assignment, its secretariat was retained to attend to issues arising from its activities. With the formal closure of the Secretariat, members of the public are now advised to direct all inquiries and matters concerning the sale of federal government houses to the Department of Land Administration. The FCTA has also cautioned residents against fraudsters who may pose as staff, officers and members of the dissolved committee and its secretariat, stressing that neither the committee nor its secretariat currently exists. The management of NTA Channel 5 Abuja has paid a familiarization visit to the chairman of Buari Area Council, Joshua Musa Ishaku, as part of efforts to strengthen the relationship between the station and the council. The visit also provided an opportunity for both sides to explore areas of mutual cooperation, particularly in promoting grassroots developments. Kama reports.
Buari Area Council is one of the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory and has a new administration led by Chairman Joshua Musa Isiaku. Receiving the NTA Abuja delegation, the chairman acknowledged the important role of the media, particularly NTA, in reporting activities and development across the FCT. He noted the long-standing relationship between the council and NTA, describing the station as an important partner in giving visibility to development initiatives at the grassroots.
I'm here for familiarization visit.
Leader of the NTA delegation, General Manager NTA Abuja, explained that the visit was aimed at strengthening the existing relationship between the council while congratulating the chairman on his assumption of office. She stressed the importance of sustained collaboration between the media and government at the grassroots in keeping residents informed and ensuring that development efforts receive adequate coverage.
So we want to be seeing activities of the FCT coming to NTA and all the area council.
Responding, Chairman Joshua Musa Isiaku reaffirms his administration's commitment to working closely with the media, especially NTA Abuja. He appreciated the station's contribution to grassroots development and its role in giving voice to communities across the FCT, promising an open and mutually beneficial relationship throughout his tenure.
NTA Channel 5 is a flagship station, and you can't beat the reach. Of course, talk about expatriates, you find them there. Talk about the network, except if we're negligent in our duties. Otherwise, there is no station that can compete with NTA. After all,
Buhari Area Council hosts several important institutions, including the Nigerian Law School and the headquarters of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, while also serving a diverse population of civil servants, students, businesses, and residents of different economic backgrounds. From Buhari Area Council, Kama, NTA News.
ECOWAS is working towards a regional consensus on a framework before institutional adoption of a carbon market platform in West Africa. A validation workshop in Abuja harmonized inputs from regional stakeholders. Kelvin Ubwanwaye reports.
Climate change is one of the major challenges facing ECOWAS member states. Although the region is responsible for only a small share of global greenhouse gas emissions, it remains among the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, including flooding, land degradation, declining agricultural productivity, and population displacement. Faced with these challenges, ECOWAS has committed to implementing its regional climate strategy in line with the Paris Agreement, the ECOWAS Vision 2050, and AU Agenda 2063. Carbon markets now represent a strategic mechanism for directing investment towards low-carbon projects while generating additional resources for sustainable development. A recent ECOWAS Commission is determined to make inroads into the international carbon market.
Temperature will rise by 1.5 to 3 degrees Celsius by 2050, and the World Bank believes that more than 40 million people will be forced to will be displaced because of climate change.
The workshop is expected to lead to approval and adoption of a final and operational framework for regional carbon market that expresses the aspirations of the regional bloc. In Abuja, Kelvin Ubwanwaye, NTA News.
Thank you, Kelvin, for that. The chairman, Kuje Area Council, has embarked on an assessment tour of ongoing road projects yet to be completed in the Area Council to ascertain their level of execution and identify challenges responsible for the delays. Asabe Williams, who was with the inspection team, now tells us on that.
Moving from one project site to another, the chairman, Honorable Danjuma Samuel Chikulu, inspected the level of work on the roads at various stages of completion. The assessment provided an opportunity for the council chairman to fiscally evaluate the quality and extent of work carried out, as well as identify areas requiring urgent attention.
At the level of the area council, we want to toe that line and follow the footsteps of our leader, the Honorable Minister, where we will not have abandoned projects within the area council. That is what has prompted us to go around the ongoing projects within the area council and ensure their completion before we can embark on new projects.
At the different project sites, the chairman sought explanations on the status of projects, the challenges affecting their completion, and what is required to move them to the next stage. His concern was not only about the pace of construction, but also the quality and value expected from the projects upon completion.
The contractor have assured us that some of the projects will be completed based on the percentage of payment that have been done. As you can see, some of them, the artwork has been completed. What is remaining now is the asphalting of the work. So we believe that the projects will be completed.
The chairman said the assessment is part of efforts to strengthen monitoring of infrastructure projects within the Kuje Area Council and ensure that resources committed to road development achieve the desired impact. He also indicated the need for closer engagement with contractors and relevant authorities to address identified challenges and accelerate completion. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Esther Waxon-Jack, has unveiled 7 key reform documents designed to strengthen professionalism, improve performance, and promote a more effective and result-oriented federal public service. Herman Jabani reports that the initiative are part of ongoing efforts to build a modern, productive, and people-centered public service. The report.
The reforms documents include Federal Public Service Policy on Reward and Recognition System and its accompanying guidelines, the Federal Public Service Policy on Incentives and Consequence Management and its guidelines, as well as Federal Public Service Policy on Mentoring, Federal Public Service Guidelines on Mentoring, and One's Knowledge System brochure. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DDS Sawalson Jack, says, taken together, the initiatives present a comprehensive approach to reforming not only the systems and processes of government, but also people and institutional culture that drive public service delivery.
Their value will be determined by how faithfully they are communicated, applied, and reflected in the daily conduct of officers across the service, while implementation must be monitored to ensure that these instruments produce measurable improvements in performance, accountability, and service delivery.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Public Service Communication Style Manual is awaiting approval by the Federal Executive Council. At a leadership training for all federal permanent secretaries with the theme Building Capacity Through Critical Thinking with Limited Resources, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation charged participants on professionalism.
The true measure of this workshop will not be the activities we complete today, but the stronger relationships, improved communication, and joint problem solving that follow.
The training forms part of effort to deepen the capacity of senior public servants and ensure their leadership at the highest administrative level is better equipped to drive sustainable reforms and improve service delivery. Herman Jabani, NTA News.
We'll now take a short break and we'll be back in a moment.
Some people are getting 20-something thousand. Some are getting 30-something thousand. Is it a rocket science?
Our definition of news is getting the unusual in and around the FCT. Fresh and factual, from education, transportation, politics, sports, judiciary, security to the grassroots. You can go on and on. You will find us there.
Residents,
the construction of the Lot 1B of the Abuja Light Rail Transport System.
Whatever way you choose,
many have remained
onlookers and motorists alike watch in horror as the wave upon wave of water.
For security agencies.
With our on-air personalities, we bring to you delightful presentations.
On the news tonight.
FCT Police Command.
Telecommunication giant empowers customers.
NTA Channel 5 Abuja News. Always authentic, with no room for fake news. We are the Unity Station, using the news to unite the nation.
Thanks for holding on, and into our next segment again. As the world marks International Youth Day 2026, attention is drawn to the enormous potentials of young people and the need to create platforms that allow their talents to thrive. In Nigeria, sports remain one of the strongest avenues through which youth can discover their abilities, build careers, and inspire communities. Shamsuddin Usman brings us insight into this special report.
From football pitches to athletics tracks, basketball courts, and other sporting arenas, Nigerian youths continue to demonstrate that sports is more than entertainment, but rather a pathway to discipline, education, employment, and national pride. As Nigeria joins the global community to celebrate its youths, stakeholders say greater investment in grassroots sports could unlock the potential of millions of young Nigerians and provide them with a positive platform to shape their future.
Because of the importance of sports, the federal government is putting more concentration on development of sports in Nigeria. Through sports, you build new infrastructures. Through sports, you can become a multi-billionaire. Look at Osimhen. Where did he rise from? Look at Akeem Olajuwon. Look at Mary Onyali. Look at Uti. There are so many I can point to. These are living heroes.
For many young people, however, the journey from talent discovery to professional success remains challenging, with inadequate facilities, funding, and structured development programs among the major concerns.
I think we already have the governmental structures in place. And by governmental structures, I'm referring to the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. We have that in place, but I don't think that the needed attention is being given to a very large extent to it.
International Youth Day therefore provides an opportunity to highlight the importance of investing in youths through sports, creating environments where young talents can be identified, nurtured, and given the opportunity to compete.
If we mention sport anywhere, I believe that is the only thing that is keeping this country together. And if we invest more in sports, the youths that are going out of the way, doing drugs, we can avoid that. We can save the next generation by engaging them more in sports. So if the government can invest more in it, I think we'll be helping developing the future leaders of this country.
Beyond medals and trophies, sports teaches young people teamwork, resilience, leadership, and determination, qualities that are essential to building a productive society. The achievements of young Nigerian athletes on the domestic and international stage have continued to highlight the country's wealth of sporting talent. In Abuja, Shamsuddin Usman, NTA News.
For many residents of the Federal Capital Territory, boarding a commercial vehicle is a routine part of daily life. But the inadequate designated bus stops along major roads, commuters are often left waiting on the bridges by road shoulders and other unsafe locations, a situation made worse during this rainy season. Kama tells us more.
It is a familiar sight across Abuja. A stretch of road, a bridge, or an open roadside suddenly becomes a bus stop as commuters wait for commercial vehicles to pick them up or drop them off. For many, it is not a matter of choice, but necessity. And when the rain comes, the challenge becomes even more obvious. Without adequate shelters, commuters are forced to squeeze under bridges or seek whatever cover they can find, while others stand dangerously close to moving vehicles in their bid to catch a ride. Apart from exposure to rain and harsh conditions, commuters say the absence of standard bus stops also creates safety and security concerns.
Exactly, bus stop one can think of is not. So that is it. A bus stop is a bus stop, you enter, you feel comfortable. Even if about 2 or 10 people are there, the rain they will be covered. There will be no rain, nothing. Like this one, nothing. They need to provide more bus stop and wear shade in case of during the rainy season.
For those who use public transportation daily, a standard bus stop is more than just a place to wait for a vehicle. It provides shelter for rain and sunlight, gives commuters a designated point for boarding and highlighting, and could help reduce the risk of accidents associated with random roadside stops.
They need to put even toilet where people can sit down and stay. More bus stop is more important too. So and they also do the security so that they will not attack people that be in that bus stop when rain is falling.
There has never been any bus stop in Abuja, so to say. What we have is more or less a makeshift we call bus stop. When I say makeshift, I mean it's a bus stop that if it's raining, it can't contain even 3 people. And it's not even comfortable.
As Abuja continues to expand, commuters say transportation infrastructure must grow alongside the city's population. They are therefore calling on the FCT administration and relevant authorities to address the gaps between existing bus stops and provide properly designated shelters at strategic locations. For these commuters, a safe and convenient place to wait for a bus may appear simple, but it could make a significant difference to their daily experience. Kama, NT News.
And to our next story, when the road gets tighter, some make a U-turn, not to go back, but to think differently. In the Federal Capital Territory, it is no longer just the car drivers that pick up passengers in the part of Abuja. At the close of work every day, a new trend is quietly weaving into the city's transport story. Correspondent Onotu Yakubu caught up with this unexpected twist where car keys meet creativity on the road to sustainability.
It is sundown and close of the day's business activities in the nation's capital. And so, like bees returning to the hive, they gather. Workers, traders, and people of purpose, all lining by the roadside with tired feet and hopeful eyes. The end of the day in Abuja's major bus stops is anything but quiet. From the Federal Secretariat to NNPC Towers, Wuse to Garki, and Area 1 to Jabi, this road partnership keeps growing. But look a little closer and you'll spot something new. These are not painted taxis, no commercial number plates, just regular cars and regular people screaming for attention to their travel routes, offering driving services and not just company on their way home.
I would say the private cars are easing the transport issues in Abuja for now, because the collect taxis are they even charging more than this one. Going to this one, you're paying 800, and those guys will charge you 1,200 to do so. You see, so that's why it's happening like this. You see them queue up.
For many car owners, each spotlight is now a point of decision and a chance to recover a little of what the fuel meter takes. With petrol prices biting harder, some say it is better to carry passengers than to carry an empty back seat and financial needs home.
They have to stop by and park passengers because they know that if they will use their salary to buy fuel, it will not sustain them for a month. So they will just, let me just say, they just use that as a side hustle to help themselves.
They are not happy because me personally, I've entered a lot of private cars doing along these days. They are not happy because when you engage them, they'll be like, me, before I don't used to carry passenger, I'll just on my AC and go. But now, everybody wants to just add up money. The hardship is just, in this country, is just too much. So people are just struggling.
What began as a way to beat traffic has turned into side hustle. For these drivers, it is not business, it is balance. A ride shared, a cost split, and a little income to soften the day's edge. But how do the conventional operators in this critical sector feel about this new trend?
I'm not feel bad, I feel very, very okay based on the challenge we have in this country.
Does this affect the number of passengers you used to carry before?
No, definitely, probably, definitely, of course. It must affect the number of the passengers I used to carry before. Because assuming like you are supposed to carry maybe like 5 passengers, when it's parking around and it's trying to take more from those people, definitely it will reduce your own. You will not get completed that 5 again.
And so, the wheels turn on reality check, not just on the roads, but on how Nigerians adapt, adjust, and move. The people say, when the roads get tough in Abuja, the tough private car owners get steering on. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Now, add to that, like Onotu said, real creativity on the road to survival. Our next story will be on the globe. Let's listen to Aisha.
Hello and welcome to The Globe This Week, a foreign segment that offers unique perspectives on the stories that made headlines within the week. I am Aisha Bashir. Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened to seize ships belonging to European countries in retaliation for plans to intercept and seize Russian vessels suspected of being part of Moscow's so-called shadow fleet. Putin, speaking while overseeing naval drills in Russia's Far East, said Moscow will be forced to respond in kind, adding that it will act wherever it considers necessary and appropriate. In Afghanistan's northeastern Badakhshan province, dozens of excavators operate day and night, mining gold from mountains once used by villagers and their livestock. Some residents have profited from the gold rush, but for farmer Muhammad Amin, the gains have come with regrets. Colombian volunteers and rescue workers have joined forces to clear rubble in search of survivors following the country's strongest earthquake in a decade. Using their bare hands and buckets, they searched through the debris after the earthquake killed at least 132 people and destroyed dozens of buildings. The 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck cities across Colombia's western region, sending panicked residents onto the streets as rescue operations got underway. The federal government is seeking to strengthen Nigeria's agricultural sector through greater collaboration, investment, and technology transfer. The move is part of the India-Nigeria Trade Forum on Agriculture and Allied Sectors aimed to deepening cooperation between both countries. The federal government says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda is driving efforts to advance seed innovation, boost agricultural productivity, and attract partnerships, funding, and investments to the sector. That's it on The Globe this week. Join us next week for more reports.
And up next, it's Sports Brief.
The Super Falcons of Nigeria return to action today with their FIFA Women's World Cup qualification hopes on the line as they face familiar rival South Africa in a crucial playoff in Casablanca. Nigeria were knocked out of the Women's African Cup of Nations quarterfinals by eventual finalists Cameroon and must now overcome the Baiana to keep alive their hopes of reaching the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. The encounter at the Moulay Rashid Stadium kicks off at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Meanwhile, Cameroon and Malawi will contest the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations final after both sides produced impressive semi-final victories. Malawi defeated Algeria 3-1, while Cameroon edged host Morocco on penalties following a goalless draw. The final is scheduled for August 16th, with Cameroon chasing continental glory against the Malawi side, making history with its first appearance in the Women African Cup of Nations final. Morocco and Algeria will meet in the third place playoff. And in European football, Paris Saint-Germain have retained the UEFA Super Cup after defeating Aston Villa 2-1 in Salzburg. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia put PSG ahead in the 20th minute, while 17-year-old Brian Maggio restored parity for Aston Villa shortly before the halftime. Desiree Doué then struck in the 61st minute to hand the Champions League holders another major trophy. The victory means PSG continued their remarkable run of success under Luis Enrique, while Aston Villa's spirited performance could provide encouragement ahead of the new European season. With Sports Brief, Shamsuddin Usman, NTA News.
And that's the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Patricia Asamiluba. Have a good afternoon.